Hi. Hello, folks. I know this is not a normal time for me. Um, I just happen to be off work because I'm heading to California tomorrow. Um, and so just needed to get some stuff done and thought, hey, why not just jump in for a little bit of time and see how folks are doing, try a different time frame to see who gets to come this way. Hi. I don't know if folks are currently working. Usually I would be working. I usually would be adulting, but I am not working right now. Jessica Lynn is working though. Hey, hey. Um, if folks are able to do your daily heart me, which is the orange heart up at top, if not, if you can do the double tapping of the hearts, if you feel comfortable with sharing or with giving gifts, all of those things are welcome. Thank you, Kimmy. Oh, am I frozen already? Already, Diana? I'm already frozen? Is anyone else experiencing me frozen? Thank you, Jenny. Just Lily said, working but got the AirPods in. Okay, good. I'm not frozen for other folks. Okay. I was really worried for a second. Thank you, Stephanie. All right, so hopefully Diana's internet will get better for her. Um, so I just Lily said yes, freezing. Oh no. Okay, it's going in spurts apparently, depending on folks, because Diana's now good. um, anyways, I decided to just hop on in because I was just thinking about this whole Ryan Wheeler thing, and I really appreciate the different perspective folks had about like what could be causing him not to make any comments anymore. And the most reasonable one was by Agape Love, which made the most sense if I were to take away some of like my other assumptions that fed my original video. And what Agape Love had suggested was that it was just, oh, thank you, Stephanie. That it was just an intentional pullback because the season 4 lead announcement would be happening. Hi, Fleming. Yeah, I decided to just go live earlier than usual simply because I'm off work and just getting ready for my trip tomorrow. But yeah, so I was just thinking a little bit about that. So that's the most practical reasoning that would make sense. Um, my original video revolved around the speculation that it was around mean comments being made about Luke and wanting to minimize that kind of interaction that he didn't want, but it could definitely just be because the season 4 lead is going to be announced soon, hopefully. Jess says, hi, Bocce. How are you doing? Good evening from Paris, France here. Wow, nice, Jess. I'm doing well. Doing well. Diana said, where are the mean comments? I don't see them. I don't know, Diana, because I don't personally spend my time looking at those things, but folks had said that there were comments towards Luke. Not in the newest video, obviously, that Nicola liked, but the original wedding video. There were some things. Yolanda said, I haven't seen anything negative on his page at least, which I'm glad. I'm glad that's the case. Elena Hale said, when do you think they will announce leads for season 4? I don't know. And Sarah Jane said, I think it's because season 3 has officially ended and we'll be getting ready for season 4 announcements. Someone else had mentioned about like season 3, because to me season 3 ended like when it was released. But there are other folks in my comment section that talked about like season 3 has officially ended. Is there a different official ending aside from when they released the videos? Is it because of the official like here's the goodbye behind the scenes and here's like closing out the season? Is that what people mean when they're like maybe because season 3 is over? Because I was like, isn't season 3 been over for a while now? Alyssa said, I think people think of the 90-day mark as being the ending, maybe. Well, if that's the case, then the 90 days still is not done. So I'm not, so I was confused about why people thought that this was the official ending of season three. And the only thing I can think of is because the social media folks have been putting out like more of a goodbye feel. Alex says Nicola is less active too, so it makes sense that they might be gearing up for season four announcements. Yeah, I mean, and I've always thought that the lack of her being active just comes down to her being in the middle of filming her other movie that's coming out, and but it could also be because season four is gearing up. GS mom said technically it wasn't filming for season four, supposed to start filming this month, but they pushed it out. I heard so many different dates. I heard July, I heard August, and now, of course, is the one that we're hearing is September. Jessica Lynn said, I think it's because they're officially out of behind the scenes stuff. I'm not quite sure if they're out of it, only because Ryan did mention that if you're still interested in seeing more, that I will continue to provide more. So I think there are more behind the scenes things that Ryan can provide. Peony Bud said, Nick is shooting a movie this summer. I thought, yes. Um, Sarah Jane said, yeah, I think after Nicholas' post and the ending of behind the scene posts, etc., it felt like a goodbye. Diana said, I think it's the posting for and getting ready to announce season four. Um, Retta Lou said, I sort of got the impression it might be announced when they actually head back to the studio. And Ribbon says, Ryan's still posting. Yeah, Ryan is still posting. Kirsten said, season four starts mid-September to April. Hi, Tam. Diana said, I think leads will be announced before the 91 days so people can rewatch. Taco Bella said, guys, I'm newer to the fandom. What can we expect during season four filming? Will they be quiet? Will they post some? If folks can, you know, uh, if folks can answer that question, that would be great, because I don't know the answer to that. And I failed to send this as a reminder. My moderator is I have a moderator who's very diligent, and I'm very thankful for that. That does automatic mutes for folks that speak about like Luke adjacent thing, Nick adjacent stuff. But I had requested to like not immediately mute people, but especially if I haven't given forewarning, but that I would mute if I consistently see conversation about anything that's Luke adjacent, Nick adjacent. I heard September is when Nicola is supposed to be done filming the movie she's in right now. Alex says, yeah, I've heard that too. Miss M says he's just posting pieces of the current longer available video right now. Kimmy said if we keep watching, he will keep posting. I think that is what he stated. Okay. Rada said, who actually is Ryan Wheeler? Ryan Wheeler is the person that films behind the scenes stuff. JC said each time we got something, though, it was amazing. It was amazing. Choice Ogba said Nicola is such a hardworking girlie. She is. But yeah, so I had hello Tanya. Yeah. Amy, someone did answer that question of when does season four start filming, but someone responded it was going to be mid-September to April. Yeah, just looking at other folks if they have any other statement here that I actually want to read aloud. Danielle Lynn 93 said they probably saw some behind the scenes for when they do the rewatches leading to new season, like the bloopers. Retta Lou said, is Ryan a crew member then? Yeah, he's part of the crew. Flaming said, if the next lead is either Luke T or Claudia, then we probably won't have much selfies, etc. Yeah, I mean, I really do think Luke Thompson is going to be the main lead. With Claudia, I think Claudia would be like the secondary lead, but I do think it's Luke Thompson. I feel like there's been a lot of hints dropped that it's going to be Luke Thompson, but they could surprise us and it's not. But I can do the poll again, Kirsten, because this is a new crowd. Like before, I think Luke Thompson was overwhelmingly the answer, but we can definitely do one here and see if the answer is any different. So choose if it's the red emoji one will be if it's Claudia. The blue emoji will be if you think it's Luke Thompson, who's going to be the lead for season 4. So while people are doing that, let me see what. So Imposing Gosling said, I love Benedict and Eloise, so I'll be happy either way. Yeah, me too. Taco Bella said, so I'm here for Paul and Truly, so their posts are what I'm here for. Diana said, so many pictures of Luke Thompson going around. And right now, it's like 50-50 in response. Okay, now Benedict or Luke Thompson is ahead of Claudia or Eloise. That's a possibility. Flaming says, I think if Luke Thompson creates a social media account just for his season, I will go feral. Retta Lou said, I think so also. I'm ready for Luke. Yeah, and plus Luke had already gotten pushed out. Okay, so Luke right now is like almost twice as much as Claudia's. So I think people are leaning that it's going to be Luke Thompson. Thank you, watching lady. Imposing Gosling said, I hope we get a lot of pollen. There were so many other couples in season 3. Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you, Dowsy49. Thank you, K. Jones. Yeah, Dowsy49 says, I love them both, for sure. Kai Mai said, Luke Thompson, for sure. JC said, I missed pollen already. Is that normal? I mean, I think, you're speaking among friends. I think I think most people here are wondering what the off season is going to look like, especially with the transition. If this is truly the genuine ending of the season 3, which I thought season 3 already ended a long time ago when they released those the second half, but it sounds like people are saying just as long as that this feels more like the end of season 3, which makes the other person's comment on my page more understandable to me than I probably would have responded to the person differently had I had this mindset. Taco Bella said, did you see the article floating about how they had to decelerate after their intimate scenes? Thanks, Tam. Yes. Now, I think that is actually far more common than people think. Like, I do think that folks do exercises potentially around, like, bringing them back to remembering that they're not the characters that they're playing, because people do really get involved with their characters and do get lost in that. I don't think that I've ever had someone bring it up like in an article like they did. So it was kind of an interesting thing that the article made sure to note it, like that the fact that they openly talked about the fact that needed to happen. I think it happens more often than not, but I just thought it was an interesting choice to actually let folks know that it needed to happen. Jessica Lynn said, yeah, I'm sure some others from the crew cast will post a bit during filming, but minimal. Kate1_27 said, I think it will be a mixed season again, Luke T and Claudia. Daniel Lynn 93 said, Eloise needs more growth. She ran away at the end of the season. Um, just just as a reminder, folks, if you ended up getting muted, it's because I've already requested no mention of anyone that is Luke adjacent or Nick adjacent. It's just for today that you will not be able to comment. And when I say no mention, I literally mean no mention. I think sometimes people are like, it's not a negative statement that I'm making. And I hear that. I had stopped telling people about like, oh, don't mention anything Luke adjacent, Nick adjacent in the space because I felt like I already sounded like a broken record to folks. And I felt like everybody already knew my stance on that. So I didn't want to do that over and over again. And then last night, someone that I engage with a lot got muted. And so I was like, oh, like I would have really wanted to make sure, like, at least to give the person a chance. But so that's why I was like, okay, we're gonna modify it a little bit and give people a chance. But then it's like sometimes it's like, well, if I've already told folks before, you know, I maybe I failed to clarify that I mean any mention. I didn't mean like people should assess whether they think that the comment is benign or like positive or negative. Like I literally just said any mention. And so I just don't like people to be caught off guard getting muted because that doesn't feel good when you get muted and you didn't understand why. But anyway, so I'm just trying to explain why it happened. Kristen says, I think we'll get a lot of pollen. The overwhelming ratings should be an indication neither is leaving. Tam said, I think they will get social media managers if they do have to have social media. Like Luke Thompson and Claudia, probably. I mean, it makes sense. Sarah Merkel 4 said, I think it's Claudia Eloise's season. Flaming said they both said they will be in season 4, so at least we get to see pollen. Lucy said, I think it will be Luke, but wouldn't mind who, when, next, Luke or Claudia X. Love Mace. You're on. Hi. So Desire said, yep, Luke said he will miss living Colin every day. Thanks, Ronnie. Imposing Gosling said, hopefully Nicola will post for us. I would love that. Yeah. And I mean, obviously my content, I don't know what my content will be during this off season. What will change? I guess I'll hear from y'all's about what you want to hear about because it is still a very Luke and Nicholas centric page. So it could be just updating folks about movies that or projects that Nicholas involved in or Luke is involved in or things of that nature. Less Bridgerton-y, but still about Luke and Nicola. Retta Lou said, I agree. I've never heard castmates share such intimate experiences or feelings. Yeah. And I mean, and the thing is, it is common to happen, a lot more common than I think sometimes people realize, but it is far more rare that people will just be so like honest and open about it to the public. KSD said, I think season 4 will be Benedict with Eloise toward the end to prepare for season 5, pollen heavy as well. Flaming said, is it possible to pin a chat that says not to mention the adjacent? Probably, maybe. Somebody did say that there's such a thing as a post-it note. So I gotta look into that. Yeah, because I don't want anyone to be caught off guard when it finally happens. I've had to have a conversation with somebody because, I mean, and it's much harder when I engage with people on a consistent basis because one, I do end up caring about them, but then it also is more hurtful because it's like I've engaged with you enough to know like this, like, so it's a mixed bag, right? It's a mixed bag. On one hand, it's like I have more grace because I've engaged with certain folks more, but it's also harder and more hurtful because I have engaged with people more. And it's like, I don't know how else I can communicate something because again, it's not that, and I want to make it clear to people, it's not that they're doing anything wrong by having that conversation. I've actually provided other people that they can have a conversation with. I've given Claire's name and said, you know what, I'm not the one, but Claire would love to have these conversations. Claire would be open to this. I've given Claire's at to people. So I've never even tried to leave people like hanging. Um, the hard part too is like the pins do disappear after 1 minute. So I do need to have some sort of like post it or something on the background maybe that I need to do. I don't know. But when I request that, it's not because I think anyone's doing anything wrong, right? When they want to have that discussion. And I don't want people to read it as me saying you've done something wrong. I'm saying like I need it from me. And if I went into like somebody else's live and I have to make a decision. If I know that that particular live freely talks about that, then I make a decision not to go, right? Like, because I'm not going to demand another live to adhere to what I need. I'm not going to do that because that's their space. And this is my space that I'm inviting folks into. And so when I say I really don't want it, and I don't care if you think it's benign or positive or negative, I just don't want it. I don't know how to say it any differently. And it just, and so it pains me. It genuinely pains me when I have to finally like follow through with what I said, where I'm going to block somebody, because if I've said it a million times already and there's people who don't follow me or who did follow me, and they would complain about like, I can't believe you're saying this for the umpteenth time. And I'm like, me too. I don't know why I need to say it for the umpteenth time. So anyway, so I don't want to be a downer by that, but I just don't know how else to communicate something over and over again to folks, you know? And I think it's because people think that it's like so like unimportant. And it really is unimportant. And that's why I'm wondering why it's being brought up. Like, so. Ev said, Phoebe, do you think Shonda will film and spin off? Maybe Violet spin off. Someone sent me information around the fact that there might be a Violet spin off, but it was like it was a TikTok that said from a reliable source. But whenever it's a TikTok saying it's a reliable source, it doesn't mean that that source isn't reliable. I'm just saying I think I need something more official before I know. So if somebody has seen something more official where people have said that there's an actual spinoff, I would love it to be Violet. I would be very interested in Violet's story. Griffin, Benedict has to meet Sophie at the ball, then spend time searching for her. So I don't know. That's what some folks have said as well, like why they think that Benedict may not be the main lead, but the secondary lead. But I just, again, feel like there were hints throughout the show that it's gonna be him this time around. Flaming said, I'm thinking next season is Francesca and Benedict's story, since Eloise's story needs Sophie in it. Oh, okay. This is good for me to know. That's really good for me to know, because I haven't read the books. So I didn't realize that the fact that they are searching to cast Sophie right now, or at least I've heard that they're searching to cast Sophie right now. Like, I didn't know that she was an important piece of Eloise's story. Jamie875 said, I'm thinking in season 4 we will see less of Luke on social media. Comments on IG are limited already. Oh, really? Did Luke put limits on IG comments? Good for him. I'm glad that he did. Azel said, time to go back to work. Bye, everyone. Till next time. Bye, Azel. Lenny said, so happy to catch your live. I'm glad it worked out for your time. Ronnie said, yeah, a sticker above your head. I need to find out how to do that. I won't try to look for it now, but someone did actually say this to me very early on. Said, hey, you should have a list of like rules of engagement they're just pinned at all times. So I just got to figure out what that means and how to do that so that one, it doesn't put, like, I don't have to repeat myself a million times. And also it doesn't catch anybody off guard to be muted or to lose chatting privileges. Like, so Taryn Ray said, I still think it will be Benedict because of the setup for the masquerade ball. Yeah, I feel like that too. Um, and Ronnie said you can just say adjacent free space. LOL. Yeah, and honestly too, yeah. I mean, I just didn't know, like, and here's the thing too. And this is a bit of vulnerability on my part, I suppose, to some degree too. My lines keep changing, right? My boundaries keep changing as I'm discovering certain things. And I remember there was another person I was engaging with, and in DM, and I what I said to the person is like, I am not trying to make life difficult as I'm keep changing like what I need. And I said that's not at all like my purpose when I communicate this. Um, and that's why I said to folks, like, I understand that it can feel really like I, it can feel really unreasonable for folks, and I understand that. Um, so it's not that it's not that I don't realize that it feels unreasonable to people, but it's still I and the thing is, I don't control other people. I don't control what other people do, and that's not when somebody was like, you keep telling your followers what to do. I'm like, I'm telling my followers what I would like, but I always am in full acknowledgement that I have no control over what people choose to do. I only have control over what I choose to do. It's just that sometimes I do get attached, or I do feel connected to some of the followers I have, because we do engage a lot. And so honestly, those ones hurt me the most when that stuff happens. Because the ones that don't engage with me a lot and still do it, I can easily block them and not think about them ever again. Because I it's just there's no connection. But when it's people that I actually have had meaningful engagement with and they still do it, it's like super hurtful. Even if they are not meaning it to be hurtful. Because again, if somebody thinks something's not a big deal to them, they're not going to realize how much it can be a big deal to somebody else. And so I'm not asking it to be a big deal to the other folks. I'm just saying it is something that I've requested. That's all. Like, and eventually I will have to block people, even if I really care about them, because after a while, it just feels like it's not a reciprocated feeling. Even if it is, they do actually care about me, and they're just being forgetful. Um, Karen said, "I love your lives. Literally, is safe. It's safe, uplifting. So I appreciate you. Thank you." And I am so sorry. I spent so much time explaining that, and that's why I'm trying to. So that's why I really do need to find a way to put a sticker so I don't um, waste more of your time, because this is not even a regular time for me to be engaging with folks, and so I don't want this to be like the first live that someone's had, and I spent so much time on that topic. And again, that's another reason why I don't like it, is because that's what happened in my previous lives in the beginning. It ended up consuming so much time, and it never became about Luke and Nick anymore. It became about all this adjacent conversation that was so uninteresting, at least to me. I mean, yeah. Estefany said, the thing is, an adaptation, they are going to deviate from the book. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they've made already decisions, I've heard from folks, where that's the case. Alicia said, I want Violet to get a happily ever after. That would be wonderful. Love May said, but I don't know if the show can do a slow burn, so they'll probably move up Francesca. Ronnie said, I found some how-tos. I'll message them to you. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that. Kristen says, you're not telling anyone what to do. Give me a break. Some folks feel that way, right? And the thing is, I I think people can't sometimes differentiate between me saying like I really need this, I want this. And here's the thing, when I say I need it for myself, I recognize some people will not care about what I need, right? They only care about what they need, is which makes sense. They have no relationship to me. They don't know me, so why should they care about how I feel or why like I'm just asking that for myself. And that's part of like social media. I remember someone told me earlier on, like in social media, you have to have thick skin. And I said, I'm not trying to find out how thick my skin can get. Like, it's kind of like that article um, that Nicola wrote, right? Where she talks about social media when she was on Twitter and she called Twitter a cult, where she had honestly convinced herself at that time that the way that people were engaging with her was actually normal and not actually harmful, until she realized like this is not the way people should function. And again, and to be clear though, I'm not saying that anybody who puts adjacent stuff is doing that. Like it's not, I'm not saying that they're actively trying to be harmful at all. At all. All I'm saying is if I've said it once and I've said it 1,000 times, like I feel like even though I hate muting people, I hate blocking people that I've actually engaged with, I will do it eventually. It takes me a little bit longer. I feel like I'm a parent that says I'm going to like not a parent, that sounds paternalistic. That's not what I mean. But I feel like I'm not following through with I said in a video that I'll automatically like just block you. That's true for strangers, but it's harder for people that I care about because we've engaged a lot. Thanks, Boz, Wigs, Swiss. Alicia Ann said it could very well be Benedict's story. They mentioned other books move away from Mayfair, the Ton. Yeah. Kay Jones said, good for you. Sometimes social media is crazy. Empress said, if they're coming into your space, they have to respect your wishes. I mean, that's always the hope, right? That they would. And then I do have things at my disposal if they don't. Again, just much harder when I learned to care about people. That's my problem. Sometimes I do start to care about people and I'm like, how many chances do I give a person to stop doing the thing I asked? Before it just ends up feeling disrespectful. Alicia Ann said Benedict's is partly out of the Ton and also still in the Ton, so maybe he is the bridge. Gianna said, I think it will be Benny for sure, but I think they will have to start Elle's story. And I think that's probably how it's going to happen. I do think it's Benedict's the main and Eloise is the secondary. Miss M says, I'm going to turn this car around. Exactly. Miss M, you've had some gems. Yasmin said, I'd like to hear your input on adjacent stuff, but I know you don't want to hear it, so I respect it. I thank you for that. I literally, like, if people don't know, so I message them and give them options. I'm like, I'm not the one, but here are the options for you. Because I don't want to leave people without an outlet, because I do think it's important that people have outlets. I do think it's important. Because I don't want to leave people without an outlet. Because I do think it's important that people have outlets. I do think it's important. TK said, I want to read the books, but I'm afraid I will fall in love with them and then be mad at shows. Changing it. I mean, I'm guessing you said changing it because it stopped. The word ended very quickly and it didn't finish. So, JLK said, reading Benedict's story now and having a hard time getting into it. Lenny said, your space, your rules, empathy, and respect is as simple as that. Feeling safe over here. Just Lee 678 said, Pauline was my favorite and Eloise was my second favorite. TK said, give warning, then block. Yeah, I always prefer to give a warning before I block. And that is the conversation I had with somebody today in a DM was, they said something to me and had said, something to the effect of like, sorry, I had to say it. And I responded back, no, genuinely, you did not have to. And I've expressed this over and over again. And we have engaged a lot. And like, this person means a lot to me because we've engaged a lot. And I said, this is the final warning. If it happens again, I will have to block you. And I don't want to do that. And I'm hopeful that they won't. But they might. And if they do, I said you already know what caused it. Marina said, once they announce season 4, I'm torn between reading the book or not. Miss M, I can't imagine they can keep putting off the Philip actor, but they better not replace him. Maza D said, does anyone think Eloise will end up with the Theo from season 2? For those who read the book, who does she end up with? Is it who ends up with who? Because who's this Theo? Was Theo not the end game for Eloise? Was it someone else? Was it this Philip person? Or is there something else? You can tell I've never read the books, and I apologize for that, for folks that find that very important. Mary Ann is glam and said, I also think that Colin will be more involved with Eloise as they are very close, so I think her. Okay. Gianna said, Benny, lots of L writing from Scotland, and hopefully lots and lots of Colin happy and in love. Yasmin said they will have to change a lot the next seasons because it's mostly away from. Okay. Yasmin said there is no Theo at the books. It's always Sir Philip. Okay. So there was never a Theo ever. So Theo could be a Debling in some ways. Or was Debling... Because Debling wasn't in the books, right? Imposing Gosling said Colin isn't the same in the books. I like Luke's better. That's what I've heard. I've heard folks say that. Yasmin said, the Ton, I will miss Queen Charlotte. I was always worried that Queen Charlotte would pass away because they said that Queen Charlotte passes away before the king. Okay, so everyone's telling me that Eloise is supposed to be with Philip. Okay. What if they complicate things like in a Debling sense with Theo and was there ever a complication of like some other person that they were interested in? Gianna said, I like book Colin's love declarations much more. Netflix Colin is a sad boy. TK said, I'm looking forward to Eloise's story because of Claudia Jessie. Boss was Philip Marina's husband with Eloise. Phillips. Oh! Oh, my word. Marina. Oh, my word. It just suddenly hit me. I did not realize that. So Eloise is supposed to end up with Marina's husband? Does Marina's husband... I mean, like, does Marina pass away? How did that happen? How does that happen? Because I didn't realize that. That's what y'all... Oh, she does pass away. Okay. Oh, okay. Because I was like, dang, that's awkward. So I'm glad... I mean, I'm not glad she passes away, but at least that's less complicated. James Watch 2001 said, just give us more Luke T, please. Reddit said the audiobooks are all available free on YouTube. Oh, that's good to know. Somebody once said that they wish that the actual actors would do the audiobooks. And I think that would be great if they did. I know that they had that one promo where they were reading from the book. Oh, Rena said, but in the book, Marina was a cousin to the Bridgertons. Oh, okay. Interesting. Alicia said, I read the Whistledown series. Oh, okay, hold on. Minnie says, Shonda talked about deviating from the book history when it comes to Queen Charlotte. Okay, because I really love Queen Charlotte as a character. As an actress with Golda. Okay, Yasmin said Eloise's book is pretty straightforward. There's not much tension. It makes me feel like they will bring Theo in to create some tension, even if it's unnecessary. Mary Ann said they said Eloise turned down many proposals, but they didn't show them. Kirsten is Philip is Marina's true love's George's brother. Oh, that seems complicated. Miss M said Claudia's PR tour will be amazing. Oh, she will. Claudia will be so much fun. She's so much fun. I can imagine that. Nicole said at this point the books and shows are two entirely different entities and need to be considered separately. I agree. Kat McThirty said I can't wait to see more happy married Colin in season 4. And on 39 is like, girl, do you want a spoiler? I mean, yes, I'm actually that's I am the kind of person that can watch a show better when I know how it'll end. Because I still don't know how they'll get there. I just want to. It's like, okay, when I watched a Quiet Place day one, there were folks that absolutely asked me what happened to the cat. I need to know what happened to the cat before I can watch that show. So I do think sometimes people are like, I need to know so that I can watch this show in peace. Betsy A says, I'm going to miss Francesca's storyline around pregnancy. Steph is enough said they will add something for drama. Out on 39 says, hoping for Claudia. Alicia said, could you imagine scenes of Lady D, the Queen, and Penelope? Jamie said, I feel like season 4 will feel like a new show. No Julie Andrews' voice and a lot set in Scotland, maybe. Oh, whoa. That will be that's definitely a transition. Love May said, stepchildren, grief, brothers forcing her to marry, lots of drama for Eloise. Interesting. I wonder how much of that they'll keep. Maza D said, I love Penn and Eloise's friendship. It can be so comedic. Yes, I love them together. They're amazing together. Jane said, I kind of like Debling for Eloise. She would have all the time in the world to do what she wants. I actually like Debling for Cressida. Like, I felt like they connected over, like, not being thrilled with their own families. Ronnie said, I do spoilers too, LOL. Yes, I know. That was you with the cat. Fleming said, so I wonder what they will do. Melissa says, although Claudia said she would gladly wait however long Shonda would let her, so maybe she is later and we'll get Ben and Fran first. Miss M said, like Penn said, turning to the end of the book to read. Steph is enough. I just need the 4 brothers showing up. Ronnie said, I can't deal with losing animals. Yeah, actually, my friend who I went with when I watched it for the second time, he was so irritated with the cat because he thought the cat was going to put people in danger. And I was like, this cat actually, I mean, I didn't say to him at that point that this cat will serve a big purpose in that movie, but the cat did. Mazadi said, just did say Cressida's story is not finished yet, so I'm wondering how she will come back. Yeah, I think they love her as an actress, and so they'll figure out a way to make her storyline matter. Cat Mac30 says Claudia and Nicola will be so unhinged for her season, LOL. Oh, I would love like their interviews. Rena says there's already been a 1-year time jump, so I wonder how much of Scotland we will actually get. Oh, interesting. Fleming said, yeah, I want Debling for Cressida. Yeah. Melissa said, wondering if they will bring in Eloise to write for Penn's column. TLR Vibe says the actors just did a promo trip together for Bridgerton. Alicia said, I wouldn't hate for Debling to come back. Yeah, I wouldn't hate it either. I think it'd be great. Love May said Debling and Cressida should have been endgame. They could have had a lavender marriage. Fleming says, it makes me sad how Francesca reacted to her first kiss to John. Yeah, a lot of folks really gave that feedback about how disappointing that was because John is supposed to be the love of her life, and that it took her a while to allow herself to fall in love or love someone else. And so to have like the first moment be almost like she didn't like his kiss. It saddened people. TK said Nick said that she hears Julie Andrews in her head when Lady Whistledown is writing. Lenny said Claudia, Jesse, and Luke T unhinged press tour here for it. They're so funny. TK said so maybe Julie Andrews will stay. Cat Mc30 said I hope Lord Debling comes back. LOL, just to see Sam again. He's great. Yeah. I mean, I feel like when they like an actor, they find a way. I mean, I think about so many shows where originally somebody wasn't supposed to even be more than like a one-time character, and then they ended up being important. If anybody remembers, was it Family Matters? Is Family Matters where Urkel, it was with Urkel, but Urkel was only supposed to be on one episode, and then Urkel ended up being the show. Like, I can't imagine that show without Urkel. And I don't know if folks know what I'm talking about in the space, but hopefully you do. Kristen says, I hope Penn wrote to Eloise and said you have a nephew. LOL. Kirsten, Penn, I know how a lady becomes with child now. Miss M said, oof, imagine if Cressida and Debling were together and they both had grudges against Pollen. Drama. Steph is enough. Why did Debling just leave if he wasn't looking for love? He should have gone for a second choice. Good question. Love May said, OMG, I wanted to see Lord Remington's reaction to Lady Whistledown. I need to rewatch certain things for sure. Just to even remember who's who. Oh, Kirsten said Debling had to get on that ship for a year. Anon said, yes, Urkel. Anon 39. Imposing Gosling said, I like Debling. Not to be with Penn, but he was charming. Yeah. Oh, Ronnie said, I love Stefan Urkel. Yeah. You know, who I forget who the other love interest was for Urkel, but I always felt like he should have ended up with her instead of Laura. I felt like Laura only, I don't know, I felt Laura didn't see, I don't know, I felt Laura didn't see him on Friday night. Oh, Ida Pita said Laura Remington was the man in the wheelchair. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I remember now. Rachie said, wow, really? I didn't know that about Family Matters. Yep, he was only supposed to come for one episode, and he definitely... the crowd just reacted so positively to his character that they brought him back, and then they really built that show around him after that. It's kind of like in the same way that like the Olsen twins who played what was the little girl's name in that show, Family Matters. I'm not Family Matters. Full House. Michelle. Like Jesse, Uncle Jesse, or John Stamos. He didn't actually want them. He felt like they were taking over the show, and they were the pull to the show. But so was Uncle Jesse. So he should not have worried that that they would overshadow the other folks. But I mean, they were the show in a lot of ways. Oh yeah, Minnie said Myra passed away during the show, so they couldn't end up together. Is that the reason? I knew she passed away, but I didn't realize it happened during the show. Oh, oof. She was amazing. Daniel Lynn 93 said they gave Sam no promo. They were so unserious about him being a love interest to Penn. Absolutely. He was just there to cause something, but he wasn't ever going to be seriously an option. The thing is, I still would have definitely loved some promo interviews with Nicola in the middle of Luke and Sam. I would have loved that. They missed a great opportunity to have Nicola be literally in the center of these two actors. Empress says he carried that show. I mean, Urkel, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Ida Pita said, I just found out that actress passed away, the other love interest for Stefan from cancer. Yeah. And I think I think they were close in real life too, I feel like. FKAHLO33 said, taking a little break at work to join. Well, welcome. Melissa said, I think Debling was falling for Penn. Otherwise, why make the remark about her attractions being elsewhere? Why would he care? I have always felt that way, Melissa. I'm like, why? Well, first, he shouldn't have said, like, I don't know if I'm going to have space in my heart. You know, he should have said, yeah, I can see that happening. But maybe he just didn't want to say something that he wasn't definitive of yet. But I definitely felt like he had feelings for her. Because if I'm, like, just wanting a housemate and I didn't need the love part, like, I wouldn't care that she was interested in somebody else or something, right? Like, why did he care? So I feel you on that. Thank you, Bailey. So I do think he actually did care for Penn. And that's why I think he didn't go for his second choice. And also because I think, well, did his second choice already have a scandal by that point? No, she hadn't yet had a scandal yet. So he could have saved her from a scandal. He could have saved Cressida from the scandal. Love May said, how cool would it be if Penn took Hyacinth under her wing to be the next Lady Whistledown? Oh, maybe. Oh, Anon39 said it was stomach cancer for her, yeah. Empress said, yeah, and she loved Steve for himself. Absolutely did. And I felt like Laura wanted Stefan. She ended up loving Urkel, but like for a really long time, I just felt like Laura was really kind of mean to Urkel. Too much, you know? And he was so in love with her, like he excused that kind of behavior. But he deserved someone who loved him as much as Laura loved him. But then at the same time, Laura deserves someone who would love her the way she loved Urkel. So you just want mutuality in the love, you know? Nobody wants to be loved just a little bit in comparison, you know? Like, you want mutuality in the way you love people. Minnie said, no, but when he basically said she was going to cheat on him while he was away, lol. And, I mean, I don't think, obviously, Penn, I don't think would have done that, but, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, though, sometimes if, like, you know how there's some people who don't want to commit to someone, but they don't want that person to commit to anyone else? They almost want to keep that person kind of in limbo forever. So if I frame it that way, then what Lord Debling wanted to do would not have been great. But he didn't actually want to do that for her. That's why he let her go. He wasn't going to keep her in that spot. So I actually do respect what Lord Debling did by saying, no, thank you. Because I don't like it when people are like, oh, I don't want you, but I don't want you to be with anyone that does want you. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that vibe. Rena said, oh, there was chemistry there for sure. He was attracted to her openness. Kai Mai said, well, also his title going to his kids and not someone else's. I mean, how did it work back then? If she even had a child that wasn't his per se, but she was married to him, wouldn't it still fall under his title? I mean, like, wouldn't, or maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's what you're saying. I have to think about. Maybe I didn't understand. Linda M said, I don't think Cressida is a credible second choice. Oh, really? I really like Cressida. I mean, I eventually, I mean, I feel like there's a redemption arc for Cressida. Jennifer said, I felt like she had to settle. That's true. Thanks, Cha. Jane, I totally thought Debling liked Penn. He told her she was pretty and liked listening to her talk. Yeah. Rena said that was back in the 90s when nerds weren't cool yet. Oh, yeah, I guess. But I don't know. It was still, I felt like Laura was still too harsh on Urkel. Love May. I love how we as a collective fandom know Colin and Penn would have had an affair if she married Deb. Oh, see, I was like, I don't think she would. I don't think she would have. Would they have? Okay, let's do a poll. Because I would like to believe Penn wouldn't. But that's why I think she would have felt like she was settling. Okay, so red means that they would not have had an affair if she married Debling. Blue is that they would have had an affair if she married Debling. Because I feel like, no, I don't want, or at least I don't want to believe that they would have. Oh, but a lot of people, a lot of people are like, you living in your la la land, Phoebe. Like, that's not happening. There was, yo, really? Oh, my heart hurts so much. Thanks, Lynette. Oh, it's overwhelming. It's like 5 times, 4 times as much. Oh, my word. Ah. Kirsten said she couldn't say no to Colin. She was dying for him to feel the way she did. Bex G said he was the love of her life, though she wouldn't have been able to resist. Mazza D said someone on Twitter was writing an alternative story and a bit was read about Penn married Debling. Kimmy said just need to blink those baby blue eyes at him. Yeah, overwhelmingly people felt like that they would have, that she would have cheated on Debling with him. And then I guess like Debling knew that and said, and on 39 said, you are way too nice, Bocce. Well, I don't know. I just feel like if you make a commitment to someone, you fulfill that commitment. And if you, and that's why I really appreciated what Debling did, because, you know, he didn't want her to commit to that life in the end. It's like, figure your stuff out. Figure stuff out with this person. Jane said, now ask if Colin would have an affair, LOL. Well, who would the other person be? Who's the other option? I feel like that's harder if I don't know who the other option is. Because she had always been into him. Like, and I think Colin always was into her, but like he didn't, I feel like he feels like his emotions are fresher even if it had always been there in his subconscious. So I feel like that's a harder question because for her, yeah, I don't know. Kai Mai, no, the blue was for cheating. The red was for not cheating. So hopefully you chose the right one for the one you meant. Jane said, I don't believe Penn would cheat, nor Colin. That's why he kept asking if she was engaged. And on 39 said, agreed. In an ideal world, there would be no infidelity. LOL. But Pollen. Oh, and on. Mazadi said, Debs comes back from traveling and the twins look like Colin. No. LOL. And Portia tells Debs Colin's moved. Minnie said Debling would have come back from his trip to Colin and Penn and a toddler. A 3-year-old. Y'all are killing me. Y'all are really killing me. I'm here like hurting because I want people to be faithful. I mean, but then I would have heavily advised her against marrying him because it would be an unhappy union. But y'all's. Flaming said, I mean, Penn was ready for friends with benefits after carriage scene. Sis will be ready to cheat. Ouch. Melissa, they were always breaking rules, so yeah, they would. Mazadi said moved away after Penn and Debs got married. Oh, the Greenbird Brigade, Marina. Oh, okay. Okay. We'll ask that question. Do you think that if Colin ended up marrying Marina, that he would have ended up cheating with Penn? No is red, blue is yes. That, you know, it hurts to even ask these questions. But I just have to remember they're imaginary people. Okay, this one's a little bit not as extremely different because the other one was like 4 times different. This one's more like just 1 time difference, or twice, or I don't know how to phrase that. Cat Mc30 said Nick said she would have been friends with benefits in an interview. LOL. She definitely have. Gianna said Colin wouldn't have made it that far. Bro was busted. Minnie said I couldn't ever see Colin cheating on Penn. Yeah, I don't think I could see Colin cheating on Penn. But I think the question being with... Okay, so this one was a lot less invested. I'm not invested, but a lot less gap. it was more fairly even-ish, but it still was like that people thought that Colin would cheat on Marina to be with Penn. Um, See that the struggle I have though with it is of thinking that he would is the fact that like some of the things that were the catalyst of him recognizing his feelings for Penn, I don't think should or would have happened if he was married to Marina. That's the only reason I struggle, Bus, to believe that he would have, because I was like, would he have come to the to know that's how he felt about Penn? Would he have pursued some of the same situations? Like a lot of the things that helped his process would just never have happened. I mean, he would have never even done his trips. So I don't know. Shame.spiral said, it's Pollen. Hello. Linda M said they would have cheated no matter the other person. Anon 39, yes, because he still would have needed her emotionally at first. Then it develops. CW 2106, mentally cheat, yes. Physically, no. Tempted always. I mean, I could see that. Kai Mai said yes, because Marina would still have been unhappy. I don't think her situation would end different. Jane said after Debling dies, Colin declares his love for Penn, and then they get married. Oh, is that the story? The fan fiction? Flaming said, I think Colin will write to Penn, then reconnect and cheat emotionally with Penn because physically, it never finishes on these things. So I'm sorry. Aaliyah said emotionally cheating probably. Anon 39 said Penn can't develop feelings for Debling when he's gone for like 3 years. I know. You're right. I mean, but at the same time, I have a hard time with that too, though, Anon, because I think about folks that are in the military and they have to be gone from their families for years. And I would still think that people should want to and choose to remain faithful despite the fact that they can't be physically there with their spouse because they're in the military. Kirsten said, I like the interview that said Colin still would have gone with Penn even if she didn't have a glow up. Oh, yeah, that I totally believe. Because he always cared about her, for sure. Mazda D said, how are we going to pass the time waiting for season 4 and then it being split into 2 parts again? Do you think they're going to split it into two parts again? Hopefully they don't. I don't know if that was necessary, or at least not the length. Actually, though, at the same time, yesterday I said it and I still stand by it. I do think that them putting the break in, like, right at the carriage scene allowed the carriage scene to become a bigger deal than it would have been if they had just released everything all at once. Miss M said Colin's hero complex would be engaged with Marina. Kristen said Penn did try to warn Colin about Marina. He didn't want to listen. Flaming said he will know Marina don't love him and he will be hurt. CW 2106. Oh, by the way, thank you, Lily. CW 2106 says, thankfully this is hypothetical and doesn't matter because the boy acted like a man and got his woman. That's right. He did. Stuff is enough. Marina would not have been emotionally available to Colin, so he would have gone to Penn for that. B said, no, in all honesty, I don't think they would have cheated if either of them got married to other people. See, B and I, maybe we're being idealistic. I don't know, but I am there with you, B. I would like to believe that would not happen. Thanks, Lily. But at the same time, I think, like, hopefully they would have never gotten married to people that they knew weren't meant to be endgame. Jody said he wouldn't have kissed her when she asked. Yeah, absolutely. Jessica said Pauline's relationship would have become so different if either of them would have gotten married. I agree, totally. Lord Truth Speaker 24 said Penelope was the most villainous, venomous woman in Bridgerton. Thanks, Lord Truth Speaker 24. Mazadi said with Marina, he was a gentleman, LOL. With Penn, he locked that down, LOL. She wasn't getting away. Said YNVL Gap. Haha, I think he would. Um, Flaming said, in the book, Colin wanted someone who's intelligent, someone he can laugh with, and that's Penn. Gianna said, I don't think Colin is a cheater. I think he's a gentleman and would live a life of regret, not cheat. TK said, Penn would have become his mistress, lol. Steph, it's enough. She didn't laugh at his olive joke. Oh, I don't. Olive joke. I've got to remember that. Is that an earlier season joke? Probably. Flaming said, so I think ultimately Pollen is endgame. Love May said Colin would separate from Marina. Colin always had some type of feelings for Penn. Mary said, been back to work, but cannot miss these lives. Thanks, Mary. And I mean, typically, I don't do this time slot, but because I am off work today and I'm trying to get ready for my trip tomorrow, I just wanted to pop on in and say hi to folks and see things. I'll probably end this live in 28 minutes. Oh, Kirsten said, you all see the blush brand Nick wore to Wimbledon was Lukey. Yes. I got a bunch of messages about that, which people were like, invisible string. Imposing Gosling said he wasn't a gentleman in that carriage. Well, but he still was in a sense. I mean, I don't know I guess it depends on what gentleman means, but I mean, like, he asked for consent and all of these wonderful things. And I think it was very, like, mutual choices. Jane said, that being said, Colin kissed Penn because he wanted to, not because she asked. That's true. Because there's other times where Colin, if he doesn't want to, he won't. Penn Eloise __ Elliot said Penn would never cheat. Bailey 84 said Colin is a gentleman, but with Penn, all rules are off. Kimorova girl said they belong together because they are so much alike. Lord Truth Speaker 24 said Karina over Pollen forever. Hi, Mo. Hi. You probably are already gone because you went back to work. Shelly, I don't think they actually even allow any links to be put in the chat, even if it wasn't too long. I think they keep that from going through. So usually I advise people to either like send a DM to folks or something, because they usually don't allow links. It's kind of like how they don't allow screenshots. And so that's why I ended up having to create an email specific to getting screenshots from folks, because they don't allow it to be sent via DM. Steph is enough said Paul and break all the rules for each other. Lily, is that real? Season 4 work starts in September. That is the plan, I think, unless they move it again. Lord Truth Speaker 24 says, can we talk about how Eloise needs to be with Theo? And, I mean, they haven't always stayed true to the books. And people said that she ends up with Philip in the books. But I'm like, if Theo was never in existence, maybe they would. Maybe Theo is the Debling of Eloise's season. TK said, I love to dress a butterfly ball. Didn't like hair and makeup. Love May said, Pollen asking to be alone, hold hands, kiss, writing letters. They always were outside of society. Alicia said the person that did her makeup for Wimbledon is also Luke's person. Yes. Okay. Alicia wants a poll on Theo versus Philip. Okay. So red will be if you want Eloise to end up with Theo. Blue is if you want Eloise to end up with Philip. So red is Theo, blue is Philip. Melissa said, yeah, even though Marina was changed from the books, Pollen was always endgame. I'll read some of these while folks are doing the poll. Love May said, no, Eloise does not need to be with Theo. Oh well, I can tell which which one you voted for then, Love May. Um, Jane said, Colin thought he was entitled to her dances, took liberties of being in rooms unchaperoned. Oh, that's true. Fleming said, I prefer Phillips, though, because they are so geeky, making plant jokes and all. Imposing Gosling said, Eloise's book is named after Philip. I did like Theo, though. Bailey84 said, I love Philip. I hope they keep him. Okay, well, 4 times as many people voted that it should be Philip and not Theo. So I think people are overwhelmingly pro Philip. Lily said, does anyone know who will portray Sophie? I think they're still, the last time I heard they were still auditioning for that, but maybe not. Maybe they already have somebody now. I mean, I would think so because it's getting so close to potential filming time. So probably but they're not ready to announce it yet. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Millennial underscore Minnie said, I want her with Philip because Colin and Philip bonded when Colin went to visit Marina. Yes, I mean, when people said that was who that was, I was like, oh, okay, I remember him now. Um, Miss M said Eloise and Theo look too much alike, almost like twins. It was a little weird. You know what's really interesting though, Miss M? Like people have done studies on, I mean, obviously this is not true of every couple at all. But like it is uncanny how some couples very much look alike. Like they are pretty much the like yeah, they look so much alike. So it may feel a little weird, but sometimes it's just I don't know if there's some sort of science around it. Um do y'all ever remember that one like trend for a while? Not trend, but like it was an account that was like sibling or dating. Have you seen have you seen that site? And it was like always so awkward when you think it's supposed to be like dating and it turns out they're like siblings because you thought they were dating because of their posing and you're like, oh, please be like there were times where I would see a picture and I'm like, please be please be dating, please be dating, because I was so worried he was going to tell me they were siblings because I'm like, no, please don't be siblings. No. um Philip and Colin need to be nerdy best buds, Miss M says. Love May said, plus Eloise's costumes have so many plant and flower designs. Oh. Jennifer said, I just want a Latino love interest for this show. Yeah. Retta Lou said, okay, so this is a weird comment. Has anyone noticed that Luke's mother somewhat resembles Nicola? It's not a weird comment. Folks have mentioned that. There are some folks that have mentioned that and thought that. I mean, in the sense, I guess, that she has blonde hair and she's shorter in height. I don't know what else visually reminds folks of her, but I know that maybe the hair color and the height. Aaliyah said Theo introduced a working class world, but I believe Sophie is a greater protagonist for that than Theo. Cat McThirty said, that is so wrong. That trend was crazy on TikTok. Oh, they did it on TikTok too? See, I remember it during like, I don't know what days I used to see those things. Was it on Instagram? Was it even on Facebook? I don't remember. But like, I would just be like so nervous at some of them. Elena said, what happens to Marina? How does Philip end up with Eloise? Haven't read the book. Folks said that she passes away. Marina passes away. But that's all I know. Other people probably can tell you more. Kristen says, yes, she absolutely resembles Nick, or Nick resembles her. And men marry their mothers. Pen Eloise said, underscore Elia said, Nicola is literally brunette. She only wears blonde. Oh, does she? Well, then they don't even have that in common. Unless his mom is also a brunette and just colors her hair blonde. You know, one thing that I realized in my life was I never realized how few genuine blonde folks there really are. Like, there are folks that I always thought were blonde, but they were always like brunette. And then there's folks that, you know, were blonde, but they would go redhead or something else, you know? Millennial underscore Minnie said, absolutely. I just finished Benedict's book last night. I love Sophie. Lily said it was seen as a reel about Nick following training at the gym and looks stunning. Kimorava girl said, would it be funny for Colin and Eloise and Philip to have a double day? Pen Eloise underscore Elliot said, Luke Newton is the real blonde. Wait, what's that mean? The real blonde. Am I missing something with that comment? Gianna said, she looks so good as a platinum blonde. Fleming said, yep, she's naturally brunette. Kristen said, Luke's mom might be brunette too. I mean, her son is very brunette. Jennifer said, I thought Nicola was dirty blonde. Jessica said, yep, I'm not blonde. LOL. Shelly's like, what? Nick is not naturally blonde? KM Shoppy said, maybe it's the personality. He loves Nick's personality. Really? Wait a minute. Are you pulling my leg, Pen Eloise underscore Elliot, when you're saying Luke Newton's blonde? What do you mean? I've never seen him blonde. What do you mean? Are you playing with me? I need to fact check this. Kimorava girl said, would it be funny if Colin and Eloise and Philip have a double date? Oh, that would be cute. Lady Anna said, I prefer Nick brunette. Her eyes are for a brunette. B said there's an interview where Luke says they both share a face massager, something like that. It's on X. Okay. Millennial underscore Minnie said, I'm a dark blonde and I enhance. The roots look brown next to the blonde. Nick may be dark blonde. Oh, okay. Kristen said, I've never seen Luke with blonde hair. Alicia Ann said, that's the darkest blonde I've ever seen on a guy then. Pen Eloise underscore Elliot said, Luke Newton is blonde. He only colors his hair dark. Really? Do we have a picture of him when he was younger? Is this how we know? Sometimes people have lighter hair when they're kids and they grow up and it gets darker naturally. But I don't know. Yasmin said, not brunette, more like dark blonde hair. I think her children's pictures show her blonde. Miss M says hair color poll. But I don't know what to do for a hair color poll, Miss M. Okay, Pen Eloise is like, Luke is literally blonde. This is really genuinely news to me. TK says he is dark blonde. Oh, okay. Okay. I did not know. I did not know. I'm shooketh. I'm more shooketh about that than I was about Nicola. Gianna said Nick's hair isn't dark brown though, right? I can't remember. I think it's light brown, dark, dirty blonde. Mary said Luke was a blonde baby, but his hair turned darker, I believe, as he got older. My hubby was the same. Lady Anna said, and they got to fight because of that for sure. NA underscore music said Luke was blonde as a child. Kirsten said, my son and I had blonde hair when we were younger, now both dark, dirty blonde. Imposing Gosling said, I agree, I saw an old picture. Lily said she's naturally blonde. When I watched a reel about her young years, she's a natural blonde. Oh my word, okay. Y'all, now I feel like I need to just go look at old baby pictures apparently because I'm like, really? You know? I never thought discussing people's hair color would be so interesting, but I am like, really? I never knew. Imposing Gosling said, I love Nick blonde. KM Shoppy said, I think that he has a lot of gray hair and is coloring his hair. Oh, really? Yeah, so my cousin started getting gray hair super young as well. 31 is pretty young to already be, well, that's, I don't know what triggers gray hair, to be honest, actually, now that I think about it. Imposing Gosling said, but Nick looks amazing as a brunette. Rena said, I don't know. His beard and chest is dark. Oh, that's true. That's true. His chest hair is very dark. Cat Mac 30 said, I like Nick with short blonde hair. Lynette said, even when he's young, his hair is brown. Fleming said, oh, the baby photo is blonde. KM Shoppy said, yes, it's dark blonde. 234456789 user said, all kid pics of Luke has brown hair. But Mary says Julie Quinn had shared a pic of blonde baby Luke. Okay, so Pen Eloise underscore Elliot said Claudia Jesse in an interview proved it. Please feel free to share that link because my word, this is a lot. Who knew having conversations with hair could could cause back and forth so much? Jennifer said he probably was born hair blonde, but as he grew up, he got dark. Gianna, that's what I thought. Yes, Luke's baby pic was white blonde. Patty said, no, there was a video of him as a teen and he was dark. Kimmy said Nick is brunette. She did blonde because she felt she didn't look Irish enough. Interesting, Kimmy. Is there an interview where she said that? Imposing Gosling said they make leading men go darker often. Interesting. I mean, I feel like Ryan Gosling has not... Just kidding. I had to bring up Ryan Gosling. But I don't feel like Ryan Gosling had to go dark. No. Especially as Ken. Just playing. Steph Clock, just because he was born blonde doesn't make him a blonde. KM Shoppy said, I saw his gray hair. Retta said, in your picture, I've ever seen you, even when he was very young, show him with dark hair. Jane's Watch, 2001. Okay, Lucas. Okay, fine. I will do a poll at this point because y'all are cracking me up. This back and forth. Okay, fine. Just so everybody can get their hair, like their hair thoughts out. I'm gonna do a poll. Is Luke, if it's blonde hair, it's red. If it's brunette, it is blue. Okay, because y'all crack me up because people keep saying different receipts in child photos. So, what is it? Blonde is red, brunette is blue. And honestly, it could be genuinely that he started off with blonde hair. See it all the time where people start off with blonde hair, and as they get older, their hair naturally turns dark. So, I mean, it honestly could be both, where he was blonde at one point. Kirsten said puberty and hormones change your hair color. Lynn78 said blonde as a baby, then turned brown. Love May said, I'm going to switch my photo back now. Yasmin said he is brunette now, but he was a blonde child. Jessica said hair changed over time, and I'm a natural redhead, but as an adult, it is way darker. Tam said, I've seen that too. Hair changes with people. Millennial_Minnie said, eyes change too. I was born with dark blue eyes. Like Luke, my eyes are hazel now. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so a lot of folks overwhelmingly feel like he's just brunette. Now, I will say, I make space for the reality that he was probably both. That he was blonde as a kid. And as time has gone on, it's just naturally gotten darker. Now, he might also still color his hair, so that might also be a true statement. So maybe all of these potentials are all valid and all true. Because it's like the elephant I talked about last night, right? Everybody's holding a piece of the elephant and trying to describe it, and they're all talking about the same elephant. So I think we're still all talking about the same elephant. He had blonde hair as a baby, and now we see him with dark hair, and I think most likely that hair is naturally his. He may color it a little bit because of some gray hair coming in, but that for the most part, his hair just naturally turned darker because this is a phenomenon I see all the time happening with folks with dark hair. Amy said, I was blonde as child and now brunette. Fleming said, I feel he started blonde and the color got darker because my hair was light brown then dark brown. And sometimes actually even my hair can change a little bit. If I'm in the sun long enough, it kind of does do something. Bleaches it? I don't know. Something changes. The Greenberg Brigade said, my husband has hazel eyes and they have gotten lighter over the years. Tegan Pete said, I had blonde hair until 12, then turned brunette. Gianna said, please DM pic of him with blonde hair, though. Would love to see it. Vicky wants to know, does anyone know if Luke has any upcoming projects? I haven't heard of anything yet, except for a project he already finished up, but it's not releasing until next year, I think, which is an animated movie where he sings. Jessica said, Luke says he's lazy to get ready. I don't think he's coloring his hair. LOL. But I mean, coloring your hair is just, he doesn't have to do anything though to color his hair. He just would sit on a chair and someone else would do that for him. So I mean, he could color his hair, but I just think it just probably naturally did get darker. San Jose therapist strike said I had blonde hair. Now I have dark hair. Alicia's like, someone get Luke in this live feed so he can answer the question. Yasmin said, to me happened the opposite. I had very black hair and now it's brown. Kirsten said, sun does bleach your hair. Jessica said, yeah, sun bleached for sure. Cool Mom's Comedy said, redhead here. My hair is noticeably lighter in the summers. Melissa said, my dad and his twin were platinum blondes and both turned dark brunette by 6 years old. Yeah, I always wonder what causes that to happen. Like, what causes folks that had blonde hair to just get darker hair as they get older? Like, what happens in the body that causes that? Rita! You know why I'm laughing at this comment that I'm going to read right now from Rena? I feel like you're pulling the inner Nicola when she's like, not to brag. So I feel like you're pulling from that interview with that beginning line. But you said, not to brag, but my hair used to be dark and now it's turning white. But is that why you said the not to brag? Because I feel like you're totally playing on that. Yeah, Rita said yes in Nick's accent. Yeah. Every time I've tried to do an accent, it has been embarrassing, so I will not do that. Miss M says, we've seen where his shaved sides of his mullet grow back in, and it's dark. That's true. Kimura girl said he looks great with dark hair. Mazadis says, I sincerely hope they do not put that awful wig on Luke in season 4. Me too. Pen Eloise _ Elliot said, well, in the lodge, his hair is brown. Ooh Lucky Ducky Ooh said, if Luke was in this live feed, I think we'd have more important things to ask him. Would we? Would we? Ooh Lucky Ducky Ooh? Because I feel like for something, yeah, Pen Eloise _ Elliot said, lighter brown to his hair color now. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I never thought it would be very interesting to have a whole conversation about hair, but here we are. And it was kind of engaging. People really had opinions on it. Johari said, I had blonde hair till I was 3. It turned brown, and now 30 years later, it is more brown/red. Ooh. That's cool. Okay. Christina Hale said, not me leaving the live and my next 2 TikToks being hair care ads. LOL. Are you serious though, Christina? Did that really happen or are you playing with me? Because that is funny. If it's true. Or if you're playing. I don't know. I love that. TK said they could have at least curled the wig. LOL. Yes. At the very least. Fleming said intense hair conversation too. Yeah, that's the thing. It was such an intense hair conversation. I was like, whoa. I didn't expect this over hair. And here we are. Kirsten said, and how meticulous they are about his curls and waves of his natural hair. Amy said, if he was, you have to ease him with gentle questions, then come in hard with the gossipy ones. Mazadi said, we had gorgeous Luke at wedding, then at the bottom of the stairs, that ridiculous wig. Christina Hale said, yes. Oh, my word. They really are listening to our conversations, huh? Love May said, I love Luke's curly hair. Though I've heard from folks it's not naturally curly. Like, he curls his hair, but it's not naturally curly. Is that true, too? Does people know if it's not really naturally curly, that he has to curl it, get it curled? Christina Hale said, it's true, made me LOL. They really listen. Mazadi said he'll be growing the sideburns. Okay, I have 5 minutes before I head off. Y'all made this live so much fun. Y'all crack me up. Miss M said, yeah, they could have used a magic hair clip on the wig. Johari said Phoebe is live or makes videos on her vibration plates so often that my ads are vibration plates. For real? so funny. I really do love my vibration plate. I really love it. I use Life Pro. Like TikTok had and like a sale. Someone else just bought the same one for way cheaper than me. I was like, this, you're really getting a deal, because I thought I was getting a deal because it was like $60 less than what it typically would be or something like that. And I think theirs is like $100 less. But I love it. And technically the thing says you're only supposed to go on it 3 times a week. And I'm like, 3 times a week? And I was trying to adhere that, but then I would see other people on theirs on a daily. So I'm like, why would I only want to be on this thing 3 times a week? So I use it every morning and night for 15 minutes each. And like some people like literally work out on it, and good for them. But I just don't. I just literally stand there and scroll on my TikTok, but I love it so much. And I said, if one day, like, my thighs no longer touch, I will want a code so I can tell people to buy them. Okay, so folks did confirm he's gotten perms. Okay, it is a perm. It's not natural, but it looks cute. But people say his hair is wavy, though. Love May, his emotional support curl. Oh, Jahari said, that is why I asked which one you had. Because there were so many. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Life Pro has been, I love it so much. Especially because, like, this weekend I'm doing a half marathon. For my friend's 40th birthday. She's regretting signing up for it, but I'm not a runner. I'm not running it. I'm walking/jogging it. And it's going to be really humid, they said. It's like a Napa to Sonoma half marathon. So, my word. We'll see if I'm alive. Dominique said, thank you for tagging my video yesterday. Oh yeah, no, it was I liked it. I liked it. Whenever if I can't stitch it, I try to put always the link. And plus it just allows people to see other people's, accounts. Because they might like other stuff that you put out and decide to follow you. Melissa says, yes, I've been getting asked for vibration plates. LOL. Miss M said, oh man, is that why I'm getting those ads? Jen says, can you say why? Why or what are the benefits? Oh, Christina Halsey, you're an influencer now. LOL. Okay, so for me, so the reason it's 11:59. Okay, I'm just going to be quick about it. The reason I love mine, one, circulation. It totally helps with circulation, helps with lymphatic drainage. When I would do 5Ks, because I used to do 5Ks every month with my friend, like anytime I exerted myself a lot, like I used to have a long time of recovery, but I would just now stand on the vibration plate and I would not be sore like I would be sore before. Like it just loosened a lot of things up for me. So I would sometimes do it right before I did not a run because I don't really run, jog, fast walk, speed walk. And then lymphatic drainage is really good for that. The biggest thing was I wanted to help my dad because my dad was experiencing problems with his legs. And I was telling him, like, Dad, I use this vibration plate. I want to see if it works for you. And he uses it every morning and night too. And he talks about how his pain went away for his legs. So I think part of it's like circulation. But the other piece of it that was unexpected, it was like 3 months into me using it. And then I looked and I was like, oh my word, my thighs are like tighter. Because I always have like, I have the thing with the thighs where it's like, it's always touching. But like literally my acupuncturist was like, your thighs like are smaller. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't unintentional. I wasn't doing it for that, but it did it. I mean, something was different. But it's just me using it every day though. So I don't know if other people would experience the same thing with their thighs. It just happened to happen with mine. And I was like, oh, totally didn't do it for that, but I'm pro it. So that's my answer for that. Aaliyah said, where did you purchase the vibration plate? I purchased it back in the tail end of January. And it was a Life Pro. So I don't have like a link. I wish. Uh, I wish I had a link because that would be nice. Because then I would get some like commission on it or something. But I don't have a link. I just like it. Annie, how much is it? It depends on if you get it like at a good time. Like it's usually I think 229 or 249 or something. I got it on sale at TikTok for like 160 something, 169. But someone else showed me the same one I got, and they were doing a flash sale on it like a few days ago or a week ago. I can't remember, but it was like $129, and I'm like, oh my word, you're really fortunate to get such a good price for it. So Imposing Gosling says there's a Live Pro for 340 on Amazon right now. I think that's a different one if it's 340 because mine was 200 and either 229 or 249 on a regular price. So if it's 340, either like it's a larger one. I got the mini one. Oh, that's another one. I got a mini vibration plate. Like I didn't get the large like one. And let me tell you, they call it mini, but I'm like, if this is mini, I don't know what a normal sized one would be because it felt huge enough for me. So I think a mini one typically is good enough, but the 341 would probably be like just a bigger one. How do you use it? I just literally stand on it. So if you keep your legs closer to each other, that's considered walking. If you put your legs further apart, that's considered running. So that's how, but I always put it in the running stance for me personally. And again, some people really do work out on it. You know, they do like all their lunges and their squats and they're like, I don't know, weights and all that stuff. So people absolutely use it for that. Some people do it to work out their arms, you know. So people use it for a variety of things. I wish I was like people that was like that, but I'm not. I literally just stand there and scroll on my TikTok. And I still did stuff. So that's why I'm like, this is the kind of exercise I can live with every day where I don't have to do much. I literally am just scrolling on my TikTok. And that's why sometimes my videos are on there. Me talking on my vibration plate. Because I'm like, well, I'm already here. So why not do a video? Oh, see, Christina Hale said my dad has one. It's great. And I use it when I'm home. There you go. See? Totally. And they do come with like a booklet of like exercises you could do if you're one of those people that are good about doing an exercise on it. I'm just not one. But anyways, Christina said, watch me leave this live and get an ad for one. LOL. Yeah, well, I am gonna, TK said, get a link and share and make money. Maybe someday. I don't know. I would have to sign up for something. But anyways, I know I'm way over time. Hope y'all have a great day. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jessica Lynn, for the gift. Gotta go. You said, Melissa, that's good because I gotta go too. Enjoy the rest of your days, y'all. Bye.